Good day everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the fifth and final episode of this Athens challenge where I have tried to take Olympiacos, Panathinaikos and AEK Athens to the pinnacle of European football. Unfortunately, it's not quite worked out like that, so we've ended up with some in-house Greek competition to who can win the most league titles and Greek cups at the moment. And at the moment is AEK that's being left behind, so let's go and have a look. We are here on AEK's page, as I say, for the fifth and final season, and financially, I did allude to, we were in the mud. We were about 14 million in debt, but thankfully we managed to pick it up a little bit. I've got 10 million in the transfer budget still, but we did have an overall balance of positive nature. Finally, after the Conference League money came in, it kind of bailed us out a little bit. But transfer-wise, well, let's have a little look-see in what's been going on. As you can see, my free transfers and everything is all that happened last season. Then, this is why I got the money, more than anything else. Sold a couple of players. Bawado has gone to Saudi Arabia for 12.5 million. Strakosha has gone to the Emirates for nearly 5 million. Jamal Lewis has gone back to the UK for 1.5 million. All in all, bringing in about 15 million onto the transfer budget, which I was quite happy with. And I didn't spend it all because I already had a couple of players coming in. So Antonius Papadopoulos from Pansericas is a player I've bought plenty of times on here before. He's a very good squad player. He's good to have around the squad because he can fill in the gaps. Very good mentals. Not so good on the technicals. Physicals are okay, but it's the mentals that make up for it. He's not going to be a starter, but he will be in and around the squad. Charlie Creswell, English centre-back, who has developed okay, but I think he's a better centre-back option than what we have. He hasn't started the games yet, so perhaps my assistant disagrees. Kostas Gallianopoulos is a free transfer. Gallianopoulos? I think that's right. Yeah, defensive midfielder, Greek again, very aggressive, good technicals, reasonably good physicals, 3-star ability, good consistency and big game mentality, exactly what we need. Bit of leadership in the team, that's what I'm hoping for. Then, I found a wonder kid. Oh, sorry, my scouts found a wonder kid. Daniel Marcelino from Lusitania La Russa. We'll have to have a look where that is. Where is that? Oh, it's Portuguese second league. Oh, look at this guy. This lad could solve all our problems in one season. 17 acceleration, 16 balance, 18 agility. Not got the strength, but he's got the flair, he's got the determination. Even pretty decent off the ball and anticipation. His composure is only 11. Needs a little bit of work on. But he's valued up to 14.5 million now with a dribbling, first touch and technique of 17. He could be a brilliant inside forward or a really good striker, and he's hit the ground running. 9 games, 8 goals, 3 assists with a 7.4 average rating. Oh, and what did I get him for? 300,000.
Nice.
Bargain. That is probably one of the best bargains I've had on this game. Pavlos Moras was the final one I brought in from AZ Alkmaar for 7.5 million. Another Greek player, but a Greek regen, right back. Is he any good? Decent enough, but has got a lot of growing room to progress, so to speak. So, yeah, I don't know about this one. He started a couple of sub appearances, but I don't think he's going to be a starter. And again, it's more for the homegrown quota more than anything else. If we have a look at the schedule, though, we have been pretty good until we met Olympiacos. So we've got through the Europa League phase and we beat Sturm Graz, Botev Plovdiv, and we're into the Europa League proper this time. So we're back where we should be, I think. And then we beat Volos 6-3, Aris 3-1, and then got absolutely and utterly battered by Olympiacos 5-1. So that hope for a Greek title, so to speak, is I'm not so sure about it, to be fair. But we're only going to find that out when it comes to the highlights reel. But to get to the highlights reel, I've got to go through Olympiacos and Panathinaikos. Let's go to Panathinaikos first to see how they got on with their summer transfer business. So after doing the domestic double again last season, it's pretty much as you were for Panathinaikos. I just wanted to hit the ground running again. We've played 3 games, we've won 3 games. Palestri is on absolute fire at the moment. Financially wise, we are sitting very good, and FFP was fine. I don't know what I was fretting for, I really don't. 25.5 million still in the transfer budget. Doesn't necessarily mean I've not spent some money, because if we go back, there we are, 31st of August 2027, nothing in, and nothing out before the save point. 300k raised from just Marcel Lorber being sold to Granada and a couple of other youth players and etc. going out on loan. Only 3 players bought in. I didn't see the need to bring in a ton load of players when we've been so successful domestically. And realistically, in one season, am I going to be able to bring in enough quality players to challenge for a Champions League? Probably not. But Rokas Pukstas is a former favourite of mine for my Hadjuk split build a nation save. Very, very good player. He was at Man City, weirdly enough. How much did Man City sign him for? 3.9 million. Played him a handful of times. His contract ran out. I was like, yes, thank you very much. 24-year-old American/Croatian. Loves the big games. Very, very consistent. Excellent mentals. He's really good at anticipating stuff and determined. Very resolute midfielder. I'm very, very happy with this. Ball winning or box-to-box midfielder. I'd say probably more box-to-box. But he more than likely is going to play, or is playing, should I say, as the ball winning and the deep lying. Actually, he's rotating. So that's not too bad. And then 2 more free transfers. I brought in Ivan Fresneda, who is a well-known wonder kid on this game. Not quite developed the way he would do in real life or on the game, but a couple of seasons ago, he was very, very good. But still very good on here and very good for this league. Good right back to have. And then Thomas Bujas from OFI is a £5 million, 18-year-old Greek wonder kid. Again, probably not going to see too much of him, but again, it helps with the homegrown quota. So there we have it on that one. 3 transfers in, only 5 million spent, which isn't too bad at all. That should sort out the FFP. Scheduling wise, we have been absolutely on top of it. AEK, we battered first game of the season 5-1. We beat Crvena Zvezda, Red Star, on the Champions League qualifier, so we're back into the Champions League. Perfect. We've got Benfica, Club Brugge, Celtic, Real Madrid, Lazio, Lille, Dortmund and Liverpool as the last 2 games. That hurts. That's painful. Also beating Asteras Tripolis 2-0 and Kefisia 3-1 as well to start off the season. Very, very well indeed. That leaves only one thing to do. Let's go and check on Olympiacos and see how they got on and how they're just going to dominate the league again as well. So here we are for the 5th and final time at Olympiacos, which let's go straight into it because financially wise, we are sitting pretty. The Champions League qualifications and getting through to the knockout rounds is really starting to pay off. Overall balance of just over 80 million, transfer budget of 40.5 million, which I couldn't spend. But transfers wise, I'd still brought in a few players. And actually, we did make up a lot of money through player sales as well. So if we have a look at it, Christos Mouzakitis, still can't pronounce his name. Mouzakitis. That'll do. My Greek wonder kid who came through the Olympiacos youth system, and he got pipped by El Atifak on a release clause, I believe, of 10.5 million. I'm gutted at that because his value is now at 70 million for a release clause. And he's developed so well. I'm gutted I couldn't keep hold of him for the 5th and final season because he was actually starting to cook. 26 starts, 24 sub appearances in season number 3, season number 4, 43 games, and his average ratings were really, really good. Devastated at that one. Pabega has gone as well. He's gone for 12.5 million. Kwame has gone to Hazem for 9 million. Jamal Lewis has gone for 5.5. Jonathan Panzo for 1.2. And I still didn't spend all that money because the players I brought in, again, Ivan Fresneda. I'm not going to go into that one, but I did bring in a couple of quality central midfielders. Samu is the first one from Mallorca, previously Almeria, then went to Mallorca. Portuguese defensive midfielder with a perfectionist personality, which I love. Great at tackling, great work rate, great anticipation, great stamina, ball winning midfielder extraordinaire. Very consistent, loves the big games. Very, very happy with his signing, and he's hit the ground running with a 7.3 average rating in the first 5 games. That's not too bad. But then this one I'm very, very chuffed with. Ryan Gravenberg. What a player I have signed here. 2 goals, 4 assists in 5 games to start off with, and he is playing in the ball-winning midfielder role as well, ironically enough. What a player. I'm so chuffed. That's brilliant. I've brought in another Greek left-back, Vasilis Zagaritis. Not going to show you him because I've signed him on previous saves. And then, probably the bargain of the century, John Duran from Al Nassr in Saudi for 8 million. He's a bit of a late signing. He's only just come into the squad. He's only had a couple of sub appearances, but what a striker signing that is. Well chuffed for that for 8 million. And it goes to show because our start has been amazing. OFI 3-0. We knocked out Young Boys from the Champions League quite easily, actually 6-3. Kifisia, we battered them 6-0, and Iraklis beat them 4-0, which means we haven't actually conceded a goal in the league. And bear in mind, last season we were so close to being an unbeaten season. Well, there we have it, folks. We are up to the 5th and final highlights reel of this season. Who's going to win what? Let's go and find out. I'll roll the highlights reel and I'll see you guys in a few seconds. In the 5th and final season, there was everything to play for. For AEK, it was about restoring pride, and we did just that. In the Europa League, we cruised through the qualifiers, but scraped through the league phase with valuable wins like a 2-1 versus Ferencvaros and a 4-1 versus Maccabi Tel Aviv. Sadly, our journey was ended abruptly on penalties to a defeat versus AZ Alkmaar. It was domestically where we triumphed though. In the cup, we did it the hard way. After early round victories, we beat Panathinaikos 5-4 on aggregate, and it was a final versus our other rivals, Olympiacos. And in a game which we utterly dominated, we prevailed with a 2-1 win to secure the Greek Cup. In the league, it was tight. Usual wins like a 2-0 versus PAOK and a 4-0 versus OFI were the norm. And despite a few losses and draws, we held on to claim the title by 2 points over our Green City rivals. For Olympiacos, we wanted just more of the same. Sadly, in the Champions League, our fixture list was horrendous and we got thoroughly embarrassed on all fronts, losing 7, including a 3-2 to Rangers, as we finished second from bottom. In the Greek Cup, we did our usual cruising through the rounds, straight to the final. Inexplicably, we ballsed it up and lost 3-2 to our black and yellow rivals, AEK, thanks to 2 very late goals. But in the league, it's as you were, beating Panathinaikos 6-0, Tripolis 6-1, and Aris 6-2, and in fact we remained unbeaten from November to claim our 5th title of the series by 18 points. And as for Panathinaikos, it was a disappointing one. In the Champions League again, we only had 1 win, a 2-0 versus Lazio, and that was it, as we didn't even make it out the league phase. In the Greek Cup, despite beating Lamia 6-1 on aggregate, it was a quarter-final knockout to our rivals AEK. But in the league, we were immense. Dominated it with wins like a 5-1 versus AEK, a 4-2 versus Kalamata, and a 5-1 versus Iraklis. In fact, we remained unbeaten until the end of March. But it didn't matter as we secured our 4th league title of the challenge. So as we went into this 5th and final season, I was desperate for AEK to win something, and finally they did. They did. They've made up for it with not 1 but 2 trophies. We did a domestic double. Yes, getting Levi Garcia. Oof, what a player. What a season he's had. So looking at the league table, let's have a quick little look-see. We pipped Panathinaikos to the league title by 2 points. Ooh, that's close. That was close. But then we have a look at the competitions as well. We actually got through the Europa League phase, which, okay, we were down the bottom. It was a difficult one. We won 3. Who did we lose to? Rennes, Crystal Palace, Nemesis, Sporting and Nice. Okay, they're kind of the teams I probably would expect us to struggle against. And then getting through to the knockout round and getting beaten on penalties by AZ Alkmaar is a little bit grinding. But even still, it's not too bad. And yes, we won the Greek Cup against our city rivals, which means we've won it twice in this save, which is not too bad at all. But a Greek Cup win nonetheless. Thank you very much. And actually doing that, we brought the reputation of the competition up a little bit as well, which isn't too bad. Financially wise, I'll come to that in a second. Squad wise though, let's have a look. Levi Garcia, 40 goals and 12 assists this season. I did not expect that. Marcelino on his debut season, 30 goals in 57 games. He played every single game. Oh my word, he's developed. Oh, what a player. Oh, I wish I could continue this on. I really do. What a player. Eunice Atguns, 17 and 16, 14 and 11 from Jevon Simons again, 10 and 15 from Cherney, 18 assists from Earwick, and Zizmanski got another 8 assists there, so they've all contributed. They've all had a brilliant final season, but has that helped us out financially at all, this little bit of success? Has it, heck? We have 12 million, nearly 13 million in the transfer budget, but we're 10.5 million in the red. So are we expecting some money to come in? Who knows? We will never know. That is the thing. Whew. That is a good season for AEK, but there is more to come. Let's go and check out Panathinaikos next and see how they got on. Well, sadly, and obviously from the highlights reel, it wasn't another domestic double, which I'm kind of annoyed at, actually. I would like to get a domestic double to finish them off, so to speak. And realistically, the players dropped down a little bit, but we still did win the league title. So there we go. League title for Panathinaikos. Again, that makes it 4 for this save. Absolutely brilliant. Very, very happy with that, and did it by 20 points with ease, I would say. Knocked out in the league phase by the Champions League at the Champions League. That is not so good, and I kind of had a feeling that would happen. Finishing 29th is not good. We only won 1, beating Lazio. We drew 4. 2 at home. I mean, drawing against Club Brugge and Dortmund at home is not acceptable, in my opinion. Losing the 3 away, okay, losing to Celtic, that irks me. Losing to Liverpool and Real Madrid, yeah, I get that. But we should at least be getting to the knockout rounds. That hurts. That hurts a little bit, to say the least. And then what hurts even more is to get knocked out in the quarterfinals by our City rivals in the Greek Cup, meaning we miss out on that as well. Yeah, not so good. But financially wise, well, FFP is being met. We've got 12.5 million in the balance, but 27.5 million in transfer budget if I wanted to carry this on. But realistically, I don't think there's much improvement that could be made to the squad domestically anyway. But it is definitely a drop-off from the players this season. Only 20 goals from Ioannidis, Demir with 19, and Tete with 16 and 11, 15 and 20 from Palestri, which is outstanding. And also Jason Knight, 13 and 4, 14 assists from Tyler Morton again. He's got the eyes of a hawk, this guy. He can just produce assists after assist after assist. Great stuff. League title winners, I'm happy with that. Missing out on the Greek Cup, that irks me a little bit. There's only one thing left for it. Let's go and have a look at Olympiacos to see how they finished off their season. Well, all in all, as you can see from the highlights reel previously, it was very, very similar sort of season to what Panathinaikos had as well. Yeah, I wanted another domestic double for these guys as well, but unfortunately it wasn't to be the case. And sadly, we didn't get our unbeaten season either in the league, but we did with the league title again. So, there we go. That's not too bad. We lost 2 games in the previous group round. Who were they to again? Sorry, league phase. Panathinaikos and PAOK. Only 3 draws, wasn't it? Championship group? Yeah, 3 draws, 31 wins. God. So close to getting those last 2 seasons as unbeaten. Yeah, that's annoying. But what again, like I say, it's kind of mirrored what happened with Panathinaikos in the 5th and final season. Knocked out in the league phase of the Champions League is incredibly disappointing and will hit the club financially, without a doubt. I finished 35th. What? We drew 1 and lost 7. But then again, when you look at the fixtures list, no, actually, I can't accept that. Ajax and Rangers and PSV are teams that we could and should be beaten, to be fair. That is incredibly disappointing. And then runner-up to AEK, who seem to be the cup specialists. I don't know how. But we've been done twice in the last 2 finals. Runners-up twice. That's disappointing, to say the least. Financially wise, actually, it hasn't affected them too much. 41.5 million in the budget, 63 million in the overall balance, which isn't too bad at all. And then one final look at the squad. Leonardo got 30 and 13, 29 and 20. 29 goals and 20 assists from Rodrigo Moura, who is injured after twisting his ankle, but has developed very, very well. Look at this guy. Great dribbling, great flair, determination off the ball and vision. Oh, perfect. He could be like the next Figo. quite easily. Yazici, again, still doing it at the age of 32, 22 goals and 15 assists. Christos Zolis with 22 and 9, which is really good. John Duran only had 11 starts, and he is wanted, again by Saudi, but got 17 goals. Can't complain with that. 15 assists from Marquinhos and 9 goals and 18 starts. 8 and 17 assists from Gravenberg. Brilliant. 12 assists from Fresneda, 13 from Zagaritas. All the main players are definitely producing what they need to be producing. It's just more disappointing in Europe than anything else. Well, there we have it, folks. Time to do a little bit of a recap. So, to finish it off, I have totted up all the trophies that each club has won, and this is how it goes. Olympiacos with 5 league titles and 1 Greek Cup, no European trophies at all. Panathinaikos with 4 league trophies, 3 Greek Cups and no European trophies. And then you have AEK with 2 league trophies, 2 Greek Cups and no European trophies, but a European final. And there we have it. That is it. And I think the overall winner of that is definitely going to be Panathinaikos. But I also have a little look-see at the heroes of the save, and I've picked out a player from each team and 2 players from Panathinaikos because I can't split them apart. So let's go and have a look at the first one. And my hero pick, or say my star man pick, should I say, is this guy, Yusuf Yazici for Olympiacos, who has been with us all the way through. He actually got signed, not by me, but was a transfer from the game. And talk about Mr. Consistent. Look at that. 5 seasons. Didn't drop below a 7.29 average rating. 7.4, 7.3, 7.5, 7.5. With goals galore. 16, 21, 14, 23 and 17. Assists here, there and everywhere. This guy has been phenomenal and pivotal to making sure that Olympiacos is successful. His potential ability has dropped down, but he is the club captain. He is 32. He's going to be turning 33 very, very soon. Yeah, I mean, what more could be said? He was utterly crucial for Olympiacos' success in this save. But, as I say, for my next team, which would be Panathinaikos, I did pick 2 players because I could not split them apart. Who do you think I picked? Let's go and find out. Now, if you guys picked out Ioannidis and Palestri, then you would be correct. The 2 players that I could not split apart were Fotis Ioannidis, the main striker for Panathinaikos. Again, been with us all the way through the save. In fact, he's been at Panathinaikos for ages. But again, talk about consistency. 21, 16, 14, 27 and 19 goals in those 5 seasons. Didn't drop below a 7 average rating all the way through. Picking up a couple assists as an out-and-out pressing forward / striker. He doesn't look like much on the attribute side of things, but in the game engine, in the Greek League, he has been absolutely spot on. And again, very, very crucial to the success of Panathinaikos in this little competition. But obviously, I alluded to another one, and Palestri is that. Again, another player who's been with us the entire save, 5 seasons after his move from Man United. And again, didn't drop below an average rating of 7, which was actually the one blip season that he had with only 6 and 6, but 10 goals, 9 assists, 9 goals, 14 assists, 10 and 12, 6 and 6, 13 and 16 on his final season, 15 and 20 in total. He's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal winger on this game. It's just his acceleration and his agility. And his dribbling and crossing, that obviously does help as well, and he provides a lot of the goals for Ioannidis. But I do also think a special mention will have to go for Amad Diallo. I know he's only been with us for a couple of seasons, 3 seasons now, but again, he has been pivotal to us. I can't even get my words out, but very, very good. Very happy with that. But I have picked out one player from the AEK side. Who do you think that's going to be? Let's go and find out, shall we? There was really only one choice for it, and that had to be Levi Garcia, the 31-year-old Trinidad and Tobago player, or Trinbagoan. I think that's how you pronounce it. Has, again, been with us all the way through the save. He did have a bad injury in one season, which I think was this one, the first season. Was that right? Injuries? Yes, it was. He broke his ankle in the first season, which unfortunately affected us a little bit. But this season, 40 goals in 20 appearances after playing as an inverted left winger. That is incredible. That is utterly mental statistics for a one season. Consistent, loves the big games as well. Can't fault him, and he was realistically the only player that I was going to pick out the entire squad, because when we have a look at the rest of the squad, it's changed that much. The only other player I probably could have picked would have been Bawadu, but he got sold for this season, so unfortunately it is what it is. And maybe if we carried on for a couple more seasons, Marcelino would probably take that award, so to speak. But for me, Levi Garcia, his contribution over the last 5 seasons has been phenomenal and has really helped keep AEK in it more than anything else. And obviously a couple of league titles and a couple of cups help along the way. There we have it, folks. That is it. The challenge is completed. All 3 teams against each other to see who was the best on the same tactic, and it turns out it was the green third of Athens, Panathinaikos, winning it by, I wouldn't say a clear mile, it was close, but overall, for trophy count, they do win it. They got 7 trophies in total. Olympiakos got 6, and Athens AEK got 4. So overall, Panathinaikos win it, but only by a smidge. But if we're looking at financial success, Olympiakos definitely win that, and AEK lose every single time. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. This series has been a lot of fun to do, especially with the fact that I went on holiday to Athens as well, to go and get a little bit of the Greek experience there. The stadiums are amazing. They're cool. If you ever get a chance to go there, go there. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy this content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Keep an eye out for a new series that I'm bringing out in shorts form only, which is the Ajax Youth Academy only. That's an interesting one. So join me for that, and join me for many other series that are coming up, and with FM26 around the corner, maybe. Who knows what's going to happen. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you later. Ta-ra.